Hey, it's Kyle here, and today I'll be reviewing William Shakespeare's Star Wars by Doescher. I believe I'm pronouncing the last name of the author correctly, but if I'm not, my apologies. Now, you might be thinking to yourself, how is William Shakespeare and Star Wars being combined? What's the deal with this? It's a pretty interesting idea, so I'm very excited to tell you about it. But first off, I'll say if you're interested in Star Wars or Star Wars books, I did several Star Wars books reviews on this channel. I'll put a link to all those in the description box below. Please check those out if you're interested in learning more about other Star Wars books. So basically the concept behind this book, which the author did, was he took the plot of Star Wars A New Hope and he turned it into a Shakespearean play. Basically, how would a Will Shakespeare written Star Wars A New Hope? The only, conceit the author gives to that is the technology stays the same. So, for example, there's spaceships and there's lightsabers and all that type of stuff. He doesn't attempt to turn that into William Shakespeare era technology. He still keeps it as a sci-fi storyline, but it's just done in Shakespearean language and in the format of a normal Shakespearean play. So there's acts and chapters, and you have the characters, giving their lines, much like if you were an actor, handed a script, this is what it looked like. You even get stage direction, stuff like that. I really enjoyed this. I thought there was a lot of great little touches, like you might have noticed when I was flipping through, scattered throughout. There's illustrations, which are the top of, if this was really done as a play, it's kind of what you'd imagine the set designs and stuff like that to look like. Now, one thing I'll warn you about, there's no new plot reveals in this. This is the plot of Star Wars A New Hope. So if you've seen the movie, the plot's going to be identical in this book. So don't expecting something new to be added to the storyline. There's not a massive new twist or something that wasn't explored in the movie that's explored here. But one reason why I enjoyed this book a lot, and I really did enjoy it, was the author kind of gives a nod to the fact that some of the characters are aware that they're on this great adventure, and that they clearly know that the actions in Star Wars A New Hope are going to lead to something greater. So Obi-Wan Kenobi and R2-D2 are two examples of this, that throughout the play, when they're speaking kind of aside to themselves, they'll make reference that they're aware they're on this great journey, and they hope this specific character makes the right decision, so they'll end up where they know it's supposed to go in this grand journey that's going to be explored, all the way through Return of the Jedi. And it's funny that I mentioned R2-D2. He really was probably my favorite character in this. It's interesting how the author chose to do R2-D2 in this play. When R2-D2 is speaking to other characters, it's just in beeps and stuff. So, for example, let me find you a line of his dialogue here real quickly. So, for example, in this line, he's speaking to Obi-Wan Kenobi, and his line of dialogue is beep, meep, meep, squeak, beep, wee, squeak, whistle, meep. So it's like the little beeps and whistles he makes in the movie. But right before that, when it's a sigh, he's just speaking to himself, so only he can hear, it's actually in a voice. So in hearing this wise man, I have almost my errand quite forgotten, now to my work. So since you actually get to hear R2-D2 speak sometimes, it gives you some interesting insight into that character and what his motivation is. Because in the movie, you're kind of put your own ideas into what R2-D2's really meaning, but you don't really know for sure because he's just beeping and squeaking and making noise. You're just hoping that's what he's really trying to say, is what you're thinking he's trying to say. So I really enjoyed getting to see R2-D2 explore this way in the book. And I'll say, one reason I enjoy this, I love the works of William Shakespeare. I love Star Wars. To me, it was neat to see these two worlds collide. If you really don't like Star Wars and you're not really into Shakespeare, you're probably not going to enjoy this. If you're into Star Wars and you hate Shakespeare, you might not like this. I think if you like Shakespeare and you're not too crazy about Star Wars, you might actually enjoy this, because to me, when I'm reading this, the entire time I was reading this, wow, this really reminds me a lot of some of Shakespeare's great plays. And the back of the book and the afterward, the author actually makes the point out that George Lucas had really looked to the works of Shakespeare for a lot of inspiration when he was writing the plots for the Star Wars movies. So it's kind of natural that the movie actually translates really nicely into a Star Wars play, basically, a Shakespearean play. If you're looking to get into Star Wars, and like if you like Shakespeare, this might be a great way to see if you like it or not. I think one reason why I really enjoy this, I have a special place in my heart for Shakespeare and Star Wars, because one of my favorite projects I ever worked on in school was in high school at a creative writing class, where the teacher gave me the entire class the assignment, I should say, of watching The Empire Strikes Back and then translating that into a Shakespearean play. I love that project. In fact, I love it so much, I've done a video about it on another collab channel I'm part of, Project Nerdy. I'll put a link to the description in that box. A link to the description box below about that. I really enjoyed working on that project, so if you want to learn more about that, just check that video out. But because I'd already had a little bit of experience with Shakespeare and Star Wars, I was really excited to hear about this book. I read it fairly quickly. I was busy with work. If it hadn't been for work, this is something I could have knocked out in a day. It's only 160 pages long. Reads very quickly. There's even illustrations, so it's really not even true 160 pages of text. So I really enjoyed this. So I think if you like Star Wars, if you like Shakespeare, this book well worth checking out because it's a quick read. So I hope you will. Hope you enjoy it. I hope you will enjoy William Shakespeare's Star Wars as much as I did. So I'll see you in my next review. Remember to check all those links out in the description box that I mentioned.